What's going on?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, we back. This is Sean.
Hey, it's your boy Troy, man. We tapped in again.
Tapped in. So you tuning in, you see us live. Hey, make sure you go like it, share it. Um, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok,
Check all out, man.
all of them,
And
all of them.
subscribe. Hit that subscribe button.
That's
Hit that
right.
subscribe button for us, man.
And I put on there. We want to know what you want us to talk about. We come on here. We got our topics, but if you tuned in, we want to touch on the things that you want to hear. So if there's something that's going on that you've been debating, we can put our little 2 cents into it.
No doubt.
Let us know.
No doubt, man. Like I said before, man, we know life is life and we know the headlines is popping. So it's always something to talk about. We don't want to just talk about what's on our mind. Let's find out what's going on with y'all, man. Hey, we here.
That's right. That's right. So we got a couple days left. NBA playoffs starting.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
so what's your predictions going into the playoffs? Prediction is who's gonna make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, who's gonna make it to the Western Conference Finals.
Um, wow. It's early. It's early, and I don't even have a favorite no more, man. But can't never count the Lakers out, man. So
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, I'm still gonna go with LA.
LA.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with LA and New York.
New York.
Yeah,
So I think it's gonna be in the East in the conference finals. I would say the Celtics
I wanted to
and
say them, but
Celtics and the Cavs. I think in the final in the Eastern Conference final.
yeah, yeah.
It's crazy, but I think the Lakers could get through.
If
If
Kyrie was here,
it'd be different.
yeah,
But I don't think I'm trying to think who Lakers and I'm trying to think. I think they can beat Denver now. Um, Rockets. It's got to be an older team,
a more seasoned
a more
team, a
seasoned
more
team. Yeah,
yeah.
that can compete with them. That's crazy because I don't even know what this. Ask that question, but I don't even know what the standings are right now.
But that's good though, because that way you just going off, but you know what I mean? Because honestly, the standings up until now kind of don't matter anyway, because it's going into playoff ball.
Yeah, like in Golden State, I think it's matchups, right?
Uh,
And so I think that Golden State is a tough matchup for them.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, because Luca really don't play defense, and they run a lot
They
of
still.
screens, and then you got playoff Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
so you got
yeah. The X Factor. He's gonna be the X Factor.
he's gonna be the X factor.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, but I think it's gonna be some good. It's gonna be some really good basketball. I think
Oh
coming
yeah.
up.
That's the only time I really get excited, man, about the
Right.
NBA when it
That's
gets
the
to
only time
this
they play
side.
hard, though.
Yeah, yeah. That's when it turn up and get serious.
Right.
You know.
Right. I mean, it's like in NCAA, you can catch a good game all the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean? But like in the NBA, after All Star break, they just kind of coasting.
Yeah, they coasted. They play preservation ball, man. They preserving themselves, man, making sure they kind of healthier going down the stretch.
Right.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. Definitely gonna be a good one. Yeah, definitely gonna be a good one, man. So, man, what's on your mind tonight, man? What you thinking?
Man, I don't know, man. Um, so my mind is community.
Okay. Yeah.
Is community. So like here recently, these last couple of weeks, we done had a lot of stuff going on in our community,
Mhm.
right? Shootings specifically,
Yeah. Yeah.
and shooting along with loss of life of our youth. And we was at we both of you and I were at an event, like a month or two ago, and that was one of the subjects of how do we what do us as men in the community You know what I mean? Because this is our time. You
Yeah.
know, as being leaders in the community, what do we do? How should we be responding to things like this that happen for our community?
Yeah, I was thinking about the same thing, and you know, it's a lot of programs individually. I think it's time now that we have to come together as a collective, and not just on paper, not just programs in the schools, because 9 times out of 10 these kids are not in the schools. They're not. I think we need to take a more militant approach. I mean, and I'm not saying get vigilante or violence, but I'm just saying we can't be scared of the communities that we come out of. I know I'll come from the hoods,
Right.
and I'm okay with showing up to the hoods before something like that happens and getting a strong connection. Whether it's just a Saturday. I know back in the day, they used to go out witnessing. Well, we not talking about that right now. But can men still get up and say, hey, let's go out to this neighborhood today and let's talk. Let's have a real conversation. Let's take some guys that maybe went through the process and made it out on the other side, that's been incarcerated, that have records, that can connect and relate to the streets, because we can't be over here and they're over there and we expect to bridge a gap. It has to be where we're not afraid to go in, and it could be theme based. I mean, we could dress in all black going there, but we gotta go into these communities and we gotta build bonds and we gotta know who belongs in these communities, because a lot of this stuff that's happening is not coming from that community. It's coming from the outsiders. I mean, you got people from different states and different nationalities, everything coming here
Hmm.
into your community and causing this, and you're feeling unsafe. But why not get to the point where we know who belongs here? We know who lives here. That's not your address. You don't belong here. And let's start doing something about it that way.
Right. And so that's the thing that I'm thinking about. It's like like not the talking part, but the action part. Like what actively, could we be doing? I mean, I think that's one great approach. Um, but the other thing is like finding out. It's hard because the people that are there, they're guarded, right?
Hmm.
When they see you coming, it's just like, okay, what they want. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, I really don't want nothing. It's just like I want to talk. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like it's the middle of the day. Why are you guys just hanging out here?
Hmm.
You got young kids, that are out here playing, um, and and I get it. Maybe some of them that's where they grew up at. That's where they feel comfortable
Hmm.
hanging out at. But you also have to have a sense of responsibility. It's like, are you really have you really thought about the end goal? Where is this going to lead you at in 5 to 10 years?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what does statistics say? And what's your plan? And it's you see some kids out there that have
Yeah.
a lot of potential, and can be
Hmm.
doing a lot of different things, but they're chasing street credibility. They chasing um, ghosts of the past, and what they did and what their reputation was.
Yeah.
And it's like it's all for nothing, right? Like 10 years from now, you just gonna be a name and it's gonna be some other young kids that is trying to step into those shoes and do the same thing. And then either you're gonna be gone, you're gonna be in jail, or you're gonna be at a place where you be like, man, I can't believe I was even wasting my time doing
Same characters, different actors,
that. Right.
all the time. I mean, you said you see somebody get incarcerated, go to jail 10, 15 years, come home, that same block, that same stoop, that same tree that everybody chilled under. It's still going to be there. Still going to be people chilling there, but it's going to be just
Different
different
neighborhood.
faces. But you
Right.
can still show up. Now, what can we do? I think, I was just thinking. So I thought about when we went to Africa, man. We was on a mission and we was going into villages, and we went on a Christian-based mission, and a lot of these places was Muslim, so they didn't share the beliefs we shared, but we came showing love and providing a solution to what they needed. So we would put wells in, and you had to go to the chief of that community and say, "Hey, look, we want to put this well in so your people can have drinking water." That act of doing something and providing something that they need gave us access to the community. So now we can go in and we can talk to the people. We can roam freely in there. So it gave us access. So talking, yeah, that's one thing. But saying, okay, we're gonna come in, and kids that don't want to be in here for these hours, we're gonna have a van and we're gonna take them to a rec center. We're gonna take them here. We're gonna do this, and as long as they're doing the right things in school and all this, we'll come and provide. So now you're providing something for that community,
Right.
and you can get the parents involved now. So now when you start, that you start hearing the names. Oh, this one coming around, or this one's influencing, but you have a in because you're actually involved in
Involved.
the community.
Right. Right. And then the other thing is like there's an age like we're at our age, and then I'd say most of the guys that's hanging around out, they probably between the ages of like 18, let's just say 16 and 23,
Mm-hmm.
right? And a lot of times I just think it's conversation, but it's figuring out what they want. Like there's a reason why you're doing what you're doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And 9 times out of 10, it has to do with money,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
and missed opportunity because I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, no, no. I mean, money and money, missed opportunity, and uh, lack of knowledge and a
Mm-hmm.
direction, right?
Right.
And so, if you can have a conversation and be like, "Hey, look, I mean, what's your goals? I mean, what kind of money you really trying to make?"
Right.
And and just start from there. It's like, okay, well, do you know that if you did this, this, and this, you don't even need to go to college
Mm-hmm.
to make that type of money. Like in trades, you can make the type of money that they probably would be talking about,
Absolutely.
but it takes somebody who know and understand that to have a conversation to maybe plant that seed. And then this is something that you may not, some people plant, some people fertilize the ground, some people plant the seed, some people water the seed, some people get the chance to see that seed grow, and then some
Mm-hmm.
people get a chance to pluck and harvest it, right? And so it's not a one-time thing; it's a continual conversation that's being had, right?
Uh huh.
And it has to be intentional. It has
Right.
to be intentional with the men in the community, because then over time you get that access.
Right.
So like with the younger kids, it's easier to get the access because they're more open, right? And,
Mm-hmm.
and they're and they're looking for something.
Right.
At that age, it's just like they've had life happen to them, and it's like, you know what? I done had to deal with this for so long. I'm gonna get it however I gotta get it,
Yeah.
right?
And what about? I feel too. Parents, a lot of a large responsibility lay on the parents, and it's an uphill battle because it's systemic. But when you have kids, they let's say they catch their first case and they get jammed up, we have to fight for our youth and our young people because you can't just slap this felony on my son at 14. Because when that happens, now what happens? So even if he want to make a change, after he go fill out this application, do this and that, they said no, no, because you got this.
Mhm.
Well, that's because somewhere along the line somebody didn't fight for him,
Right.
and they're feeling defeated. So they're like, man, the only way I'm going to get it or get the lifestyle, because they think it's going to follow them the rest of their life. They're not educated on, okay, I can get in a expungement if I just walk straight for 7 years. They thinking my opportunities are shot.
Right.
So you need people around you to say, hey, okay, you messed up, but you want to do this? I'm gonna go to court with you. I'm gonna write this letter for you. I'm gonna do this. Like educate them on this is not the end because you're already in the system. Because so many of us get caught up in the system, and then it's like, okay, I don't have no hope, so I'm gonna live out this lifestyle.
Right. And so it's weird because you said something a while ago about when you went to Africa and the mission trip that you did, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the other part that needs to play a part in it, is having, God fearing men too. Men that have a faith
Oh
and
yeah.
are grounded in that faith,
Mm-hmm.
and not in the sense of uh, thumping them on the head with the Bible, but showing compassion and being in the spaces that they are,
Oh
right?
yeah,
Like, hey, I'm gonna love you where you at right now. You know what I mean? We're gonna have this conversation. I want to know what's going on, how I can help, if there's anything that I can do. If you see me in the grocery store, what I mean, speak. And and if
oh
you
yeah,
got a question that maybe came out of this conversation that we're having, I'm gonna stop what I'm doing and I'm gonna have that conversation with you. But it goes back to that one movie that you told me to watch, and just exercising those those principles and allowing them to see it in you,
hmm
and saying, hey, look, all you gotta do is apply these principles to your life. We ain't gotta attach it to any. I mean, God's principles is His principles. If you try them, they gonna work, right?
right,
And just apply these things to your life. They don't even, they might not even necessarily know what those principles are coming from. It's just like, hey, this is what I live my life
right,
by.
right. Because that's it. All it is principle. It applies,
Right.
to everybody. And then a level of transparency that has to be had, man, because you know we we evolve and we grow into things, but sometimes you need to take the gloves off and say, hey, I was there. That block you stand on, I stood on. You know what I mean? That hand to hand, I did that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I know what you're going through. Even some of the addictions, I can talk about it because I've been there.
Mhm.
So you see me here and I can be transparent and tell you this is how I navigated through it. This is I had kids and I wanted to be a better father so that a level of accountability had to raise up, you know what I mean? But we have to be transparent. It's not pointing the finger and saying, oh, you out here messing up, you doing this.
Right.
Nah, it's life after this if you can see yourself past
Right.
it. But I don't, like I say, hope is so gone now they can't even see that self 10
Past,
years
yeah,
down the road
yeah,
past that.
past it, yeah. Yeah. So I mean, this is just our conversation. I mean, it's a lot that can be done, around this. There's a lot of ways to be able to attack it. But I mean, if it's our community, it starts with us, right?
It starts with us, man. It's almost, I wonder how you're not compelled to move anybody in the smallest way. We're seeing all this going on because I mean I've been around for a long time and I've seen a lot and I've never seen it to this point. You know what I mean? When we was growing up, we knew who the shooters were. We knew who to stay away from. Now it's like any given day, it could be anybody catching a body. Like,
Right.
yeah, and it's not normal to have that many.
It's not normal to have that, man. And then, you think about like the mental health side of it. I mean, when you in an environment and you're experiencing that, it does something to you,
Oh yeah,
because now you see how quick life can fleet you,
oh
right?
yeah,
And now you're anxious, and now maybe you didn't carry anything with you before, but now you are,
yeah.
because you've been in this situation,
hmm
right? And so scared people do scared things, man.
Yeah, yeah. And when you don't step in and try to correct those things in your community. And I know we're firm on not snitching and not doing this, but you have to think about your family members, your kids, your neighbors that aren't involved in that type of activity. You're making it harder for them too because they got to walk these same roads. And right now, law enforcement and everybody, it's going to be hype.
Right.
So that kid that's not even involved, he's going to be targeted because this is what goes on in this
Here, yeah,
community.
yeah.
So we need to stop it to make it safer for them, not from the people that's doing the crimes, or whatever, but even from law enforcement because they're coming in, they're not trying to take the time to figure out is he involved in, is he involved in that. All they see is it's a crime area,
Right.
and that brings me to my traffic stop.
Hmm.
Just my traffic stop. I'm gonna share this. Just a few weeks ago, I was in Maryland, and I was coming back home, and I was speeding. Cop pulled me over, and cop was real cool. He said, "You know why I pulled you over?" I said, "Yeah." I said, yeah, I already know." I said, "I'm not gonna play this game." He said, "You know how fast you was going?" I said, "Nah, I ain't gonna tell you all that, but you got me." So license, registration, and just because no, I had just crossed the Delaware line. Let me back up. I was actually in Delmar. So I do carry. So I, gave him my carrying conceal. I said, look, man, because he asked me for my information. I knew when I opened my armrest, he probably would, see a firearm. So
Mhm.
and everything was cool up until I handed him my license. He saw my address and he made a comment. He said, "Oh, you live on such and such road, so now I got to search you." And that's just supporting my comment that I said earlier. Because of an area,
Right.
because of a road, when he read that, that's what came out of his mouth.
Right.
It offended me, but at the same time, I know that was a battle that I wouldn't win on the side of the road.
Right.
So I laughed it off, and I'm legit.
Right.
So run my information, give my ticket, but it just goes to show the mindset of where they're at
But
already.
he didn't search you though.
No, he didn't search me.
Okay.
I mean, I'm straight across the
So he just
board.
made a joke out
He
of it.
just made a joke out of it, but it's a lot of truth in joking
Absolutely.
because now you take that same scenario and let's say if my car did reek of marijuana or if there was an old, six pack on the back seat or
Right.
something, or if I get acting just anxious, you know what I mean? Because a traffic stop can be traumatic.
Right.
So if I start acting, erratic or anything, just because he had that perception in his mind and seen my address, it could have turned that situation
In a whole
totally
nother
different.
way. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah. And I mean, even you think about it, even the police that that are that are the in-town police that
yeah.
are policing this area, they got to be heightened too. You know what I mean? Just a normal traffic stop, they don't know.
If you the shooter, if you got it, like,
Right.
yeah. And if you just caught a body, how likely is it for you just to pull over and comply?
Right.
So I mean,
Yeah. So it's a domino effect.
it's a
You know,
domino
and
effect. It's gonna affect everybody.
it, yeah, it is, and it has. It has. Um, okay, so on a little bit lighter
Yeah,
subject,
yeah. Go ahead.
on a little bit lighter subject, gatekeeping versus securing your spot. Is there a difference?
Absolutely, it's a huge difference.
Okay.
It's a huge difference, man. And we kind of touched on it last week, man, when we was talking about, man, just providing people opportunities, letting them in at a certain time. But first of all, gatekeeping is saying, you know what, I want to be the only one here. I'm not going to give this information out. You know what I mean? But a lot of times when we position ourselves or when we get ourselves in position, we have to fight against opposition ourselves. You have to learn, you have to get there. So it's a process.
Hmm.
I have to go through the process first before I can educate anybody on it.
Right.
I can give you the information, but if I give you information and then you got 1,000 questions that's coming after and I haven't done this, it's useless information.
Right.
But people will see you and see you, in a certain particular, in a particular field or doing something, and they'll say, "Oh, he gatekeeping. He don't want us to get on like that." But you don't know the whole story. I'm not on yet.
Right.
I'm working toward getting on,
Right.
and when I get on, I'm gonna bring my folks along. But you have to let me secure the spot
Right.
for us. And I think a lot of times they get misconstrued, man.
And and I think it does too because you say securing a spot. I'm gonna say securing a relationship, right?
Uh huh.
Because typically when somebody say gatekeeping is you have access to a specific person or people that allow you to be able to move and operate,
Right.
right?
Uh huh.
Um, and that doesn't happen overnight. You know, what I mean that process could my ability to be able to go to somebody and ask them to do something for me could have been a 15-year process,
Right.
right?
Right. Exactly.
15 years for me to be able to get to
Uh
the
huh.
point to say, hey, look, I'm doing this. I mean, I could use a little bit of help.
Right.
Or can you point me, can you, get me access to X, Y, and Z so that I can get this done?
Mm-hmm.
And so a 15-year journey to establish a relationship that you need to get to the next place shouldn't be taken lightly. Right. So that means like even though you see what I'm doing, it's like, oh yo, I saw you done this. Can you put me on with the person that's doing that? No, because I don't not saying no, but if you haven't been doing it, and now you just starting to do it. Now I'm putting my name and my relationship on the line when I don't know if you can produce,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
So like if you can show me that you can produce and that you can do it, and I build it my level of trust with you, then I don't have an issue with with sharing that information with you because now I can vouch for you,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't want to take you to somebody and be like, oh, you good with them? Like I want to be able to tell the truth
Right.
because if I say yes,
That's your reputation on the line.
yeah, and you screw up, now I'm screwed.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I was looking out for you because I know you what you can do,
Right.
and I'm thinking that you're bringing me somebody of your caliber, and you
Exactly.
didn't.
Right.
So now we both out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm out of my time. I'm out of, you know what I mean? I'm out of maybe it was a better candidate, somebody else that I could have been pouring into, and just because of a friendship.
Right.
Yeah. And yeah, it shouldn't be that way, you know what I mean? But on the flip side of that, when you have friends and relationships that you've built and they've proven themselves and they get to the point and say, you know what? Because sometimes it takes a lot to ask for favors when you get in a certain space. You
Right.
know, it takes a lot. And if someone comes to you and they think enough of you to say, you know what? I've been watching you. I like what you're doing, and I'm ready. And you know this person. I think you should
Give them the
give
opportunity.
them the opportunity.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because we all know it boils down to who you know and
Mhm.
who you connected to, and that's where some of we get beat out in a lot of areas
Yeah. From
be,
that network.
from that network.
From that
So
network.
yeah, I don't mind giving you the information. I don't mind putting you on, but like you said, you have to show that you can produce.
Right. Right. Yeah, I mean, and it's a thin line. It really, in some instances, it's a
Hmm.
thin line because there's a lot of people that can really talk a really good game, right? But it's just like I still got to see your work. I still had to see what you do. You know, I may be able to give you some level of access.
That's the key. That word, the levels. It's levels to
Right.
everything.
Right.
Yeah, I can
But
give
I
you
can't open up the whole.
because you can't handle it. It's evident in your everyday. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree with that,
And
man.
again, it takes time for us to be able to get in those spaces, to be able to establish those
Yeah.
relationships. You know, some people, and because I've seen where some people have gotten that level of access and have never done anything in that field before and have screwed up poorly.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But then be given a chance. And see, this is where it's different.
Uh,
And then be given a second chance.
yeah.
Like a lot of times for us, like
It's one and done.
it's a one and done.
One and
You
done.
mess it up, that's it.
And
It's a
it,
wrap.
and it's gonna affect the next 10 people that come after you.
Right.
So we gotta take these opportunities serious. And it's almost like we watch a lot of movies, man, and I'm putting it in these terms, but you go to the plug, man, and they want to put something on you, and you know you don't have the clientele for it, you can't move it.
Right.
You gotta be honest with yourself. Say, nah, that's beyond me because the consequences that
It's,
come behind
you
it,
don't want them.
you don't want
You
them.
don't
So
want
yeah, and that's in every aspect, man. You know you can't handle it and you're not ready for it. I'm not gonna put your reputation on the line and say, hey, I need this favor. Put me, man. Let me talk to him. And I know goodness well I'm not ready. That's irresponsible
right.
of me.
Right. Yeah. No, it's just it's not gatekeeping, it's common sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's common sense.
yeah, yeah. So like when you think of gatekeeping though, like what scenario or what what I mean, what would be an instance of like truly gatekeeping?
Gatekeeping is when you see somebody who's working and deserving of an opportunity and you can give it to them and you just don't
For whatever reason.
for for whatever reason. like it's all of our responsibility as we grow and we climb up that ladder. When we see somebody who is trying, who's putting in the work and the time, if we have access to be able to help them get to that next level,
Hmm.
you know, when we see the grind, we see what's working, it's our responsibility to do that.
Oh yeah,
You know
because
what I mean?
somebody did it for us.
Yeah, because somebody did it for us. And so, you know, like knowingly being in a place, whether you say it or not, you know, and or if everybody knows it or not, but being in a place, and sometimes it can be in the form of nonverbal. So let's just say you was grinding, and I'm looking at you, I'm seeing you grinding, and you know you building a nice business and stuff, and I know you're trying to get to the next level or whatever, and you ask me, and I say, I can't help you. I mean, I don't really know how to get you to that next place. When actually, I really do.
Mm.
Like that's gatekeeping. To me.
Uh,
But another form of gatekeeping is me seeing you and knowing and talking to you and conversating and hearing it, and you never asked me. But in my mind, I know I can help them get to the next level,
mm.
and I don't offer it.
Right,
If I
right.
don't offer to help you, when I know
Mm.
that I can and I can see you and I can trust you and I've seen your work, I've seen the work you've done, and I don't do it, then I'm gatekeeping,
Yeah, okay.
right?
Hmm.
Um, because that's how really strong bonds and relationships are built,
Hmm.
um, and that's how your network is built.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah.
it's
Hey,
the
I mean,
same way.
you want your circle to be strong.
Wrong, right?
Yeah, and if you
Right.
can help them get there, then why not?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Right. Speaking of helping them get there, I mean, what you do, man, if your wife get the Usher experience, man?
Man, bruh, bruh. Listen, man, I'm all about, man. Listen, living your best life. I'm all about enjoying experiences and all that. But it's a line. I don't care if it's Usher, the church usher, the usher in Hollywood, the usher at the Falcon, what usher it is. Listen, when you get to the point where you kissing my girl in the mouth,
It's all right.
it's not my girl no more, man. I'm sorry. Listen, man, you pack her up.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. No,
Especially in this scenario where my man said she's never given him a kiss in public.
in public. Never kissed her own husband. 45-year-old man. He said his wife doesn't show affection in public. Never kissed him. She goes to an Usher concert in front of millions of people with the camera on her and decides she wants to kiss him. Or didn't stop him
From kissing her.
from kissing her. This man filed for a divorce, man. He said, pack her up. He said, pack.
They would, hey, they pack.
Yeah.
They pack. They pack. When you come back, they pack.
And then a lot of people say, "Oh man, it's a story. That's Usher. You know what I mean? It's a once in a lifetime experience." But guess what? It's a lot of jokers out there that got charisma and flavor and like Usher.
Yeah.
And if if you let your standard down like that in public in front of all them people,
And see, my thing is, it ain't even letting you stand it down. It's like I'm here in the grind day in and day out, providing for you and us as a family, and you gave a complete stranger a level of access that you never given me.
mm, woo, yeah, that's a hurt piece, man.
You know what I mean? Like that, yo,
But
like
is it divorceable though? Is it a conversation? Is it a okay, man? Maybe we need to work through this, or was it ego, man? Was his ego crushed, man? Was he hurt?
I don't think his ego was. I mean, some people do get starstruck, but like you believe people for what they show you they are.
But I'm sure, given the time, and I'm just being a devil's advocate
Mhm.
and thinking, I'm sure it was a moment where she probably was nervous, probably couldn't see it on her face. She probably didn't know how to react because everybody can't think quick. And oh, it's us, I can't look like a lame. You know what I mean? And planned off and didn't know how far it was going to go. And by the time it went that far, it was too late to do what she thought she should have
So
done.
it was a whole bunch of instances leading up to that point where she could have cut it off, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
It's just a space that you don't like. If you married, it's just you just don't let people get into a certain space.
So you at a concert, and I'm gonna say the right name, baby, if you're looking. Okay, so you at a concert. Alicia Keys come down, she's singing, and she's face to face with you. She's singing, and before you know it, she's done turned around, and sat on your lap. And from all these people, are you gonna push it off? I mean, when you think about it, though, I'm just being the devil's advocate. What are you gonna do?
Well,
Think about it, though.
okay. I'm thinking about it. That's a little. It's like her sitting on you is a little different.
How long is she
It's
gonna
still
say?
in that personal space. It's still in that personal space
Uh huh.
realm. But it's like you can tell it's coming. Like you can tell it's coming, and you can get up and be like, grab her hand or something like
Got
that.
diverted and
Try
just
to
yeah.
try to divert it. But I mean, if you standing there like, nah, man, come on, man, get out of here, man. You trying to tell me you see your wife on TV, lips quivering, to get a kiss from Usher, and you be like, oh baby, I know you was caught up.
Oh man, that's all. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all we
So
give
then
a
what else
pass.
happened? Like, okay, well, he invited her backstage. That was cool.
Yeah. Your mind's everywhere now. Yeah, yeah.
But it's Usher.
Right, like so.
Hey,
Like
hey,
that.
what's the tag? Who was it, man? Somebody wife or girl when he was over in Vegas. He
Hmm.
came up to her and she took somebody else and sat her down in front of him. Like, nah, you can't.
Yeah. You're not doing this.
Yeah, you're not doing
Yeah.
it. I mean, but Usher, I mean, he do have that. And boy, that boy like to push the line, man. He be feeding the girl strawberries in a minute.
Yeah. You say, man, listen, man, you can't. My woman, I don't want you participating in no reindeer games, man. Like none of them. Like none of them. Just because, man. Like, and if you that type of guy who feel, you territorial, and what's yours is yours, you're gonna feel that type of way.
Yeah,
You're gonna.
you feel violated. You
Mhm.
feel violated.
Yeah.
I mean, and like I said, the thing that really pushes the envelope for me is him getting a part of her as a stranger that her own husband can.
Yeah, I guess it'd be a little different if they always kissing in public. He on fake got pictures on Facebook with y'all smooching, but it's no footage of us smooching, and now it's
Right.
all plastered
And you
everywhere.
tell me like you feel uncomfortable, you can't do it, or
I tried. I tried to advocate for her, man. Pack her up, man.
so trying to think. You said you already said Alicia Keys. So.
I mean, yeah, I'm just hypothetically. Yeah, hypothetically speaking, if that happened, man, you know what I mean? What you gonna do though? I mean, it's like, okay, it's the heat of the moment. It's doing a performance. If I mess this moment up, it's gonna look bad for the whole performance. The whole he got picked wisely next time. Huh?
Yeah.
Gotta say, he ain't giving no passes. No passes, man.
Blow the whole thing
You
up.
hey, he got some explaining to do after the show.
Yeah.
I'll be tapping on the shoulder. Hey, come here. We need to talk, buddy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
So if you was there and you seen it happening, like you was there, you stepping in or you gonna sit down and just see what? Like, okay, what?
Man, it's gonna be like on a film, man, slow motion. No, sushi quivered up. So we get tackled. No. Now you gotta play it smooth though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You gotta play it smooth. Sit back and see how far it's gonna go. But if he catch eye contact with me, he gonna know. Bust a U-turn. I'm at that grip.
Yeah,
Yeah, be gritty.
but it's crazy how some people do get caught up over stars and stuff like that, though. And I mean, I've seen seen just about everybody who I want to see. And it's like, they're a person.
I've been,
I don't even got to like if we make eye contact. It's like, hey, but that's like I'm not the type of oh, can I get an autograph? Can I take a picture? Like you a person just like me. I just happen to see you and you do something that is on TV all the time.
man, me and one of my buddies, man, I've seen a lot of stars, a lot of because when I just go back and forth New York all the time, and they all park where we park, and I bumped into a lot of them, and then when we won the Super Bowl the first time, I was going up to Xfinity a lot, and we happened to make it into VIP.
Mm-hmm.
So it was Warren Sapp, Charles Barkley. We all in there together. Me and Charles standing like this. They joking around and all that. And my buddies and them there grabbed a couple pictures. Man, it was hard for me, not from a fear standpoint, just to ask another man to stop what he's doing.
Yeah.
And I got the picture. I never posted it or anything like that because, what I mean, I was like, yo, Charles, man, I really, I like what you guys do. You know what I mean? It's nice to meet you, man. You mind if we grab a picture? But it was so awkward, man.
Right.
Because I'm a man. I don't like,
Send me for a pic.
yeah, it was awkward, man. But hey, some people are starstruck.
Yeah, some people they lose it, man.
But that pic is what you can't sell it. It's not making no money. It's
Right.
like just to say I seen another man, another human.
Right. Now there's that, people who get starstruck, but then there's man, what was happening with people with Michael Jackson,
Man, you
That's a
thought,
whole
you
nother
thought they
level.
seen Jesus, man. Like, yo, passing out.
man? Yeah, hyperventilating. I mean,
That's
like
nah, I don't have anybody on this planet on that pedestal. Nah, I know. Seriously,
no, for
I
real.
know, man.
Yeah, for real. It's like I don't even see how like what like it's a person.
It's a person, man, with a gift. You know what I mean? They got a gift. I like the gift. I like the way you use it.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you just a man or woman, man. Like,
Yeah. That's crazy, man.
yeah.
All right, man. So last thing that we got on here is inventory. I did want to talk about that a little bit. So like here in Sussex, in Sussex County, Delaware, and actually, uh, I know in Texas as well. I'm part of like a mastermind group, and we meet up every morning at 8 o'clock, like do a Zoom thing. But in December, our inventory was about three to 3.5 months supply in December. Just last week, we were at 6 months supply of inventory.
Oh, wow.
So like when you get, anything under 5 is considered to be a seller's market. Anything 6, 7, really 6 is like a balanced market, where it's fair. Once you start to get to 7, 8 months supply,
buyer opportunity.
it's a buyer's market. And so, what you can expect is to have more options, as a buyer. Uh, it may take a little bit as a seller. It's going to take longer for your house to sell.
Yeah.
Because typically as it turns into a buyer market, days on market starts to go up a little bit. So if you're a buyer, you've got the opportunity, and if you're a buyer who already owns a house, now is where you start to get the opportunity where you can list your house, make an offer on the house that you're trying to buy, contingent on you selling your house, and the seller's more likely to take it.
Yeah, because it's gonna set just a little longer anyway, so it gives them that time.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So we get more, as those days on market goes up, you get to more of a traditional market. The one thing that still is not hurting, but the one thing that hasn't changed that much is interest rates. So houses that are at a higher price point are still are sitting a little bit longer. The ones that you'll see sell faster right now are ones at the lower range of the market, right? But anything at the average sales price and above is sitting a little bit longer than what it typically has. So it's opportunities out there. If you're a buyer, if you're a seller, it's really, really, really important right now for you to price your home right. When you're putting it on the market, one, because buyers have so many other options available, and they know a good deal when they see it. Most time, the time when you got the most eyes on your property is when you first list it. So just make sure that you list it and price it accordingly. so that you got an opportunity to sell on it faster in the
Okay.
buyer's
No
market.
doubt, no doubt. I do have another question though in regards to that. So let's say if it's somebody who's been contemplating it and just hearing that information and they decide, hey, I want to go the Fizbo route.
Mhm.
I want to go the route where because you know what I mean it's out here. I want to price it and try to sell it myself. What would you say to that person?
Right now,
Yeah.
I would say now's a tough time to be a FISBO seller. Just because the way that the industry's changing, where you have buyers agents that are represented buyers, um, and when you're going, so if in a good time to be a FISBO seller is when it's a seller's market.
Hmm.
When it's a buyer's market, it's a little bit harder to be a FISBO seller because you got to do a lot more negotiating,
Mm,
um, and uh, you have to be open to negotiating. Yeah, because you're probably not going to get the number that you want,
right.
and the buyers are going to be asking for a lot more. And so, I would say, if you were thinking about doing a FISBO, I would still reach out to an agent first,
Hmm.
and then just have them give you an opinion on what pricing and stuff would be, how long it would take you to sell your property, and they could educate you on the changes that have happened with buyer and seller representation.
Okay. Okay. No doubt.
Yeah,
All right. Good
cool.
stuff.
All right, so I think that's all we had, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man.
So if you're watching this again, like, share, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and comment. Like, hey, let us know if you like what we're talking about. Let us know if there's something else that you want us to cover, or get our thoughts on.
No doubt.
But we appreciate all of the support that we've been getting here recently. Just keep liking and sharing the page, sharing the clips,
No doubt. And keep tapping in with us, man.
and tap in.
Peace. Peace.